Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zero from TechDragon.info, and today we got some test server stuff for you. Yeah. First off, we'll take a look at the tanks that are actually in the server, but not playable unless you are a super tester, which is more than likely not you or me. But we can take a look at them. First off, we have the Panther mid 88cm L71. That's basically translates to the target with the 88mm gun, or yeah. So, yeah, pretty simple title. Pretty straightforward. I think you can imagine what kind of gun this is. It looks like pretty much a Panther, but with an awesome gun. So, let's take a look at the actual stats of the tank. Penetration 203, damage 240, so yeah, pretty standard 88mm gun. And the rate of fire here is 9.0, that's without a rammer, and reload time 6.6 seconds. You can get this down to about 6-second reload time, and just shy of a rate of fire of 10. So that's pretty good. The depression of the gun is not great though, 5 degrees of depression and 13 elevation, it's not great. Turret reverse speed of 33, yeah, it's acceptable but not great, and the whole traverse is 38, again not great, not bad. 390 meters view range, not too shabby for a tier 8, it could be better but not too shabby. Power of the engine is 600 horsepower, however the thing is pretty heavy, so it only has a specific power of 12.9, which is pretty bad, so the acceleration of this tank is gonna be slow. Health wise, it has 1500 health, so it's nice and healthy and should be able to take a shot. Other than that, it's pretty much just a Panther with a better gun. So yeah, pretty good looking tank, I have to say. And yeah, I would even think about getting this one if I was playing the German medium tanks, but I'm not, so I don't have a crew to train, so I'm probably not getting it. It's also quite expensive with 11.5k gold. Do keep in mind that all of these tanks that I'm about to show you are super test tanks, so they are definitely subject to change. Okay, good. Yeah, other than that, max repair cost 13k, so it's not that cheap to repair a damn thing if it breaks down. Don't know about the profitability though. Shell price is pretty cheap, 252, so yeah, you should be able to make a decent profit on this tank. Let's take a look at the next one, the American M55 Scorpion. Let's first take a look at what it looks like. This thing is funky as all hell. It's small. I don't know if it's fast or not. What does it have for an engine? It has a 200 horsepower engine. Oh my god. But the specific power is 28. This thing is light. This thing should be reasonably quick then. We'll take a look at that in a second. But as you can see on the right hand side here, the armor, non-existent. Want to have a good laugh? 1 millimeters. The best you're gonna get is 21 millimeters of armor through the tracks, and that's about it. Other than that, if you hit him in the gun, he only has 15. This gun shield has 5. This thing is gonna get wrecked by HE. Absolutely wrecked. So if you see this thing, switch to HE and you'll blow it up. The thing only has 1,000 hit points though. As you can see right here, 1,050 hit points. Anyways, penetration 219, pretty good for tier 7? Tier 8. It's a tier 8, ooh. It's okay. Not great, but okay. Damage 240, damage per minute 1925, so it's a bit lacking in its DPS. Reload time of 7.4 seconds and rate of fire of 8. Yeah, not great though. Only has 43 shells. Well, only. Has a, let's see, accuracy of 0.28. Yeah, you heard me correctly. That's a gun dispersion of 0.28, 0.28. That is on par or the most accurate gun in the game. Yeah. Aim time of 1.92 seconds with vents. You can't have vents. With a rammer on there and a gun laying drive, you should get this down to 1.75 second aim time. And let's actually put it on real quick. With a rammer, you're gonna get rate of fire up to 8.9 and a reload time of 6.7 seconds. And if we put on the gun laying drive, 1.75 aim time. So yeah, gun elevation 15 degrees, it's not spectacular, but not bad. Depression 10 degrees, yeah, that's pretty good. The gun is fixed though, it's not an actual turret. As you can see right here, it can only go all the way up to there, to all the way over there. As you can see, it's pretty slow. So yeah, let's go back here. Like I said, it has 1,000 health and armor non-existent. Take a look down here. Whole armor 1, 1, 1, 1. It has no armor. So yeah, you can penetrate this with any gun, doesn't matter. So yeah, that's the Scorpion for you. Very, very lightly armored. What's the speed on this thing? Specific power 26 is pretty damn good. Traverse speed 40. 45 speed limit. Oh, that's too bad. But something tells me it's gonna get to that 45 very quickly and very easy to sustain. Reverse is 12. Ooh, that's a pretty painful reverse speed on it. Yikes. Gotta keep that in mind. That's not great. So, let's take a look at the next tank on the list. It's a German tier 2 tank. And it is right here. Pz.Kpfw. The Panther 2 auf die. 23 penetration, 11 damage, but it is an auto-loading clip, so you do have shots, 10 shots in the magazine. But yeah, the penetration is 23. It's okay, not great though. Aim time 1.27 seconds is pretty good. The rest, I mean, it's a tier 2. What do you want? We can take a look at the armor, which is okay, I guess, for a tier 2. Has 30 millimeters of armor in these red zones and 15 in the orange zones, but angling has no points. The best you can get is about 31. You can get 40, 50 through the tracks, but if they just shoot your side armor, it's going to be 15. So angling this thing, nope, don't do it. Keep it dead on, or maybe like this, but it pretty much won't help you. As you can see, the absolute corner is still 30 millimeters, so just keep it dead on and just wiggle your turret, and you'll be better off than actually angling it because you're just showing more weak spots. Other than that, it's a spray and pray kind of tier 2 gun. Not really my thing, not my cup of tea. Let's move on to the next one. The next one on the list is a bit weird because it doesn't seem to exist. The next one on the list should be a German tier 10 heavy tank. Let's take a look. All we have is a German tier 10 medium tank. As you can see right here, object 907, and what the patch notes say is that there should be a object 260. Well, this is a medium tank, it's not a heavy tank. As you can see by the gun, it's a 100mm, has a rate of fire and penetration that reminds you of a medium tank. Actually, you can't see that. I'll show you in a second. It looks funky as all hell though. Very rounded turret, but it has huge, huge weak spots. Right up here, top of the turret, even from the front, 39mm. So your biggest weak spot is right on top here. Frontal armor, 160 with sloping. Up to 200 in some points, but the beak here is pretty strong. It does have some spaced armor here that actually doesn't take damage. It's not a damage model. And the lower plate is pretty angled and has about 250mm in most spots, so it's pretty good. Front of the turret, 200-300 in some places. So the front of the turret is pretty good, but it has huge weak spots on top. That one 26, that one 37, that one 42. If you look at the top, you'll see that these are all weak spots, and they're visible from the front. I mean, this might be your best chance. If you can angle it down, I don't know if the gun will actually go down this far. No, well, barely. So you want to use this thing at this best depression that you can, just to tilt the tank backwards a little bit so people can't see a weak spot up top there. And, you know, give this armor a little bit more chance to bounce as well, because this gives it about 200+ millimeters, so yeah, as long as they don't see your lower plate. So it looks like an interesting medium. Let's take a look at the stats real quick, but I don't know what this tank is going to be, and the price looks a bit ridiculous here, so I'm not quite sure what this is, but let's take a look at it anyways. 219 penetration, 230 damage, so pretty good. 2800 DPM, that's pretty major. That's pretty damn major. Aim time 2 seconds, that's pretty good. Accuracy point 34, not bad at all. And if you look down here, elevation 16, depression 5. Yeah, that depression is gonna kill you. That's pretty bad. Gun traverse speed 33, turret traverse 50, that's pretty good, and chassis traverse 54, that's pretty good as well. Let's take a look over here. I forgot one thing. Reload time 6.8 seconds and rate of fire is 8.8 without a rammer. The aim time, by the way, is with a gun laying drive mounted, so keep that in mind. So without it, it would be, let's take it off, 2.21 seconds, so 2.2. So yeah, you can get it down to about 2 seconds. It has 2000 health. I mean, it is a tier 9, but that's pretty healthy. And like I said, it has pretty good frontal armor. So yeah, overall this looks like it's gonna be one hell of a tank, and it looks like a very, very interesting tank, but I don't know what this tank is gonna be. If it's gonna be a gift tank or... wait, did I call it tier 9 earlier? It's a tier 10, obviously. It's a 904, or 907, blah. Oh man, those damn Russian tanks and all the numbers, so confusing. So yeah, tier 10 medium tank, it's probably gonna be a gift tank, or maybe the next clan reward, thingy-majingy, Clan Wars reward, I'm not sure. So let's move along to the next tank. Next on the list we have the... where do we go? German, and then we go to the T55A. And let's go to the model real quick, turn that off. It looks like a very, very funky tank. I like the looks of this thing. It kind of has some American things going on it, like the lamp here and stuff, and I don't know. The turrets, it doesn't really look German, so this seems like a captured tank, I would say. Upgraded version of the T55 tank, T55A at a higher level, nuclear protection, and no bow machine gun. Supplied to East Germany by the U.S.S.R. Yeah, it's a Russian-made, basically supplied to Germany tank. From 62 to the 70s. This is a late tank. I don't know why this is in here. This is way late. This is way past the Second World War. It's actually Russia delivering the tank to Germany. So, okay, that's a bit strange. But yeah, looks like a funky little thing. It's basically a T55, that's the name of it, but yeah, it's a T56 and just slightly different, I'm guessing. So it looks very un-American. Yeah, it does. Un-German. Let's take a look at the stats real quick. We have penetration 201, damage 320, so yeah, penetration is a bit lacking, damage is pretty average. Reload time of 7.2 seconds without rammer, of course. Rate of fire of 8.2, yeah. Not great, but it does have a damage per minute of 2600, so it's definitely not bad. 395 view range, that's pretty damn high. Accuracy of 0.31, wow, that's pretty damn accurate for a medium tank, especially that tier 9, wow. Aim time of 2 seconds, holy crap, yeah, this thing is pretty nasty. Stat-wise, this thing really is nasty, in a good way. It has a 580 horsepower engine, it gives it a specific power of 15, so acceleration is going to be a bit lacking. Chassis traverse speed of 50, so that's not too bad. Speed limit of 50 and reverse speed of 20, so pretty on par with most mediums. What else do we have? We have 1700 health, which for tier 9 I guess isn't too bad. It's not brilliant, but it's not bad either. So yeah, that is the T55A, a German tank. It sounds a bit weird. Let's head over to the Americas again, where we have the T28 Concept. Let's take a look at what it looks like first. This thing is funky as all hell. If we look at the armor values, we'll see that frontally, this is a tier 7 TD by the way, frontally it has 200mm there and a auto bounce zone up here, if you're looking at it dead on, but as soon as you move up, even slightly above it, I mean this is not much above it, you're already looking at only 75mm and 119, and even that is pennable at this angle or that. So from the top, this thing is very, very vulnerable to direct HE hits, and even frontally, AP can pen this thing if you're slightly above it. If you're on level with it, 122mm gun, as you can see down here, will bounce. But as soon as you get slightly above it, you overmatch it and you'll easily be able to penetrate. So this thing, you want to stay back as far as you can and use your depression, which is not great. I mean, look at it. This is the best depression the thing gets. That's pretty bad. There. It's pretty much no depression whatsoever. But you want to use it as much as you can, because then your armor is sloped back and you have the best chance of bounce. The rest of the tank is pretty well armored with some weak spots here and there, but most of these are pretty well armored. So overall, this might actually be quite a strong tank. Let's take a look at the stats real quick. Penetration of 181, yeah, not bad for a tier 7, I would say. It's not brilliant, but it's definitely not bad. Damage of 320, that's pretty good. Damage per minute is 2100, yeah, that's okay. Reload time of 8.9 seconds is a bit long. Rate of fire 6.7, it does have a nice ammo load of 60 though. So, view range 370, not too bad. Not brilliant though, but not too bad. Accuracy of 0.38 is not that great. Aim time 2.21 seconds is pretty good. Depression 4.4. Depression is pretty depressing on this thing. I know, bad pun. Elevation 15, again, not bad, but not great either. Turret traverse is pretty slow. Well, chassis traverse, turret traverse, although it's more gun traverse, is 18. Not sure if this is correct, because that seems like way too much. I'm pretty sure that the turret reverse is what the actual thing is, and that's only 18. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Chassis traverse of 18, also not good. This thing does not turn very quickly. Mobility, it has a pretty big engine, but this thing is heavy. Where is the weight of the thing? I know it's here. There it is. 70 tons. Yeah, this thing is heavy. So even though it has a pretty damn big engine, the specific power is pretty damn low because it's so heavy. Traverse speed of 18, speed limit of 29. Something tells me you're not even going to reach that at all. But we'll see. And reverse speed of only 10. This thing is going to be a slow mover, but it's a TD, you know, you're going to sit in the back. But the accuracy is not great though, and the penetration, while not being bad, for that bad accuracy, I don't know, this one might not be brilliant to play, but we're going to have to see how it pans out. And last but not least, we have another variation of the StuG, because we don't have enough of those damn things yet. It's basically a premium version that uses the 110 pen, 110 damage gun. Other than that, pretty much StuG, 0.33 accuracy, 300 horsepower engine. It's not that quick. 38 speed limit forward, 11.58 specific power. Engine is not that great with 300. Let's take a look at the looks of the thing. It's basically just a StuG with side armor. That's quite literally what it comes down to. You have these extra things here, which from the side give you 35 millimeters. And if we take a look at the normal StuG, that has 38 in the same spot, so it's even worse for armor. So dead on, this is 30, with actually some spaced armor, surprisingly. Huh, did not know that. It's actually spaced armor there. Who knew? It is spaced. Huh. Okay, interesting. So yeah, it's pretty much just a normal StuG with some extra spaced armor on the side, which might protect you from HE a little bit, but that's about the best it's gonna do for you. As you can see, the gun is situated slightly higher. The tracks are a little bit wider, so wait, it has two different tracks. You see that? That can't be right. This one has an open track. This one is a closed off track with the track wheel in the middle. Yeah. What? Okay, it's kind of hard to see, but I'm pretty sure that this is the wrong track. Yeah, the track wheel has a double pinned layout by the looks of it. So it grabs into these two openings in the track and not into one. This is like the normal StuG. Well, I guess it's a good comparison. Found a glitch in the matrix. So anyways, that are the new super test tanks. Like I said, we cannot use these tanks yet. They are not in the game and they are subject to change. So let's take a look at the rest of the test server. Well, that was a bit of a long intro, but something tells me you guys don't mind getting a sneak peek at the new tanks that are going to be up and coming. Not in this patch, but probably the next. Do keep in mind that all of those stats are subject to change because they're testing it, and that's what you get with testing. You find out things and you change it. So, you know, they're not permanent, but it should give you a relative idea if those tanks might be interesting for you. Not all of them are going to be available as premium tanks. Some will be gift tanks, as in event-wise. And some of them I think you can earn with special missions and solo missions and all kinds of stuff that's up and coming. Let's take a look at what they've changed. They've made some corrections and improvements to Komarin, Malinovka, Airfield and Arctic region. I'm not going to go over those maps because the changes are pretty small. They've improved the performance of the Windstorm map. Well, that's good because the map was horrible. And they've added some awesome effect of artillery when the battle starts. I'll put in a small little clip here. Yep, there you go. Small little clip of what that looks like. It's pretty amazing. It's just a little thing, but it does add some atmosphere to the actual game. Now, they fixed a couple of tanks, and this is going to be pretty brief, this section. The whole tank section was definitely the bigger part of this video. They fixed some visual models of the SU-100s, IS-7 Jack Panther, the M24 Chaffee, the T37 LTTB, and the RU-251. So just some graphical fixes there. They fixed some issues with damage models on the Chaffee and the KV-85. I didn't really know they had any issues, but apparently they did. They fixed some incorrect designation of the T-67 tank destroyer's turrets. They basically renamed it. We can take a quick look at it. USA, where are you? There you are. They've basically changed the name of the turrets. I think this turret was still called the T49. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently they fixed something in the turret name or something to that extent. Not sure, but they fixed it. Anyways, let's move on quickly because we spent enough time on the damn tanks. Okay, now comes the interesting part. The T34-3 reload time has been reduced from 14.4 seconds to 13.4. A full second buff. Actually go in here real quick. Oh, yes. That one. So this gun now has a 13-second reload rather than a 14. So that bumps up the rate of fire to 4.48 from about 4.0-ish, I would say. And they've also buffed the accuracy on turret rotation. So whenever you're turning your turrets, the dispersal is less by 25% now. So that's pretty good. So it makes it so you can actually snapshot a little bit better with the tank. And probably the biggest thing that they've done this entire patch is the back to the garage, back to British UK. AT-15A, they have increased the hit points of this tank by 200 points, and they have reduced the battle tier from tier 9 to tier 8 max. So this tier 7 TD will only see tier 8 at best. Now let's actually take this thing into a quick battle. So, here we are, and I still don't like this tank because the problem, well, one of the problems was the
we didn't penetrate their armor.
Tier that this thing got into, obviously, because the gun just isn't great. But the gun is still not great even in this tier. I mean, a T29 I can penetrate, but yeah. And we got that little bugger. Let's back out for artillery here, because something tells me they're gonna rain down on me. I don't have 6th sense on this thing, so can't really tell when I'm spotted. See that dude? Nope. I am sitting in the open here, but you know, care. So yeah, this reduction of the battle tier plus, oh come on,
Enemy is hit.
put one shot into him. Come on, reload.
We've damaged them.
And put one into his track so we can actually, you know, keep him there. But the problem with this tank, one of the problems was the battle tier, obviously. It just couldn't compete in that tier at all. It just wasn't useful. the gun, the damage, the penetration was just all lacking for tier 9, just massively. Now that is much better now that it only sees tier 7 or tier 8's max. Come on, peek out, you little rat.
We didn't even scratch them.
Yeah. What? How did I get hit from there? Oh great, now I'm getting hit from everywhere. So yeah, this tank, it's still not a good tank. It's the gun is just shit. And it stays shit. Doesn't matter what tier you go into. That's the whole problem with this tank. It just doesn't get any better. It doesn't matter if you reduce the battle tier. Yeah, it will be better because you don't see tier 9s anymore. You can actually do more with it. But you're still gonna be in the same shit tank with the same shit gun. And the armor still doesn't really hold up all that well. So you're in a big, slow tank with an underperforming gun with armor that really doesn't save you all that much. So, you know, it's better, but still not good. That's about the best I can say about it. So, anyways, let's get back to the garage. And on top of the pre-named issues, this tank also doesn't seem to have that much of a profit multiplier, I guess is the best way to put it. So it really doesn't make that much money. So overall, yeah, it's better now, but it's still shit. That's the best way I can put it, guys, sorry. And maybe this tank works for you, but, you know, you'll be happy to know that you get 1 tier less and 200 more HP, more survivability, and your gun is going to be a lot more functional in that tier. But I still dislike the gun massively on this tank. Aim time is just a tad too long. The penetration is lacking. Yeah, let's take a look real quick because I can't see it there. I mean, rate of fire 13, yeah, that's okay, I can live with that. Aim time, or the penetration 171, not great. Damage 150, not great. 0.32 accuracy, it feels like this gun is more like 0.35. Seriously, it does not feel like 0.32. The aim time feels like 2.4 seconds rather than 1.9. So, I don't know what it is, but this gun does not feel like these stats at all. It feels too slow. It feels like the penetration is lacking, the damage is lacking, the accuracy is lacking, and the aim time is lacking. Even though, stat-wise, hard stats, it shouldn't be so bad, but it is. So, yeah, if they were to buff the penetration a little bit, or buff the aim time, or rate of fire, or, you know, they could have done a lot more to make this tank a lot more functional than it is right now. Theoretically, it has 2k DPS, well, DPM, excuse me, not DPS, but, yeah, no. I've had games where I fired 50 shots, all of them aimed, mind you, not just willy-nilly shooting, all of them aimed, only 25 hit, and out of those 25, only 14 penetrated. 14 out of 50 shots. Yeah, I severely dislike this tank. I will never ever get one unless it gets massively buffed. But so yeah, it's better, but still not good. I spent way too much time on that one. Let's take a look. What else did they did? They upped the T-54's concealment coefficient. Man, the words today. Which means that your camo rating is going to be slightly better, I do believe. I don't think they made it worse, although I'm not entirely sure. What am I doing? Russian. I can find this, really. T-54, lightweight, there it is. So they fixed the, oh, there we go. As you can see here, let's take a look. We made 15k in total, but we only got 7k. I mean, we only did 840 damage, but we only walked away with 7k. That's pretty bad. This tank really doesn't make a lot of money. So, yeah, no, I don't like the tank. For driving a premium vehicle, you get extra bonus experience for just driving a premium. Or they at least specify it now. Interesting. This gets me to one of the other points here. They've changed some things in the interface, and not all of them seem to be in the changelog. So this is one of the things. So they actually specify how much experience you get for it being a premium vehicle. Now, one other thing I noticed, and we'll have to go over this in the patch notes, but I don't think I've seen this. This has changed. Training in premium vehicle, you get this rather than this, but it's the same experience here, but it says that you need less battles to get it. So that's a bit weird. They have this. When driving in a premium vehicle, the crew is trained 50% faster. I didn't know that. That was actually faster in a premium vehicle as well. You actually get more for your crew. So, that's pretty interesting. Additionally, the crew training, yeah, so you can accelerate it as well. Acceleration only works on one crew member at a time, as you can see with this little house-looking icon here. That crew member will get double experience in the next battle. So, that's what that thing means, if you didn't know. So they've definitely changed that, and this is pretty new, or this is new as well. How many battles this crew member has fought, and his average experience. Other than that, I think the rest here is the same. Yeah. So yeah, this window seems to have been somewhat reworked. I don't think it's been in patch notes, but anyways, let's continue with the patch notes. Change conditions of damage caused by a torn off turret. Not exactly sure what it means, but a turret gets torn off and the damage, I guess, is calculated differently, how much it does. Not entirely sure. Incorrect functionality of ramming. I'm not entirely sure what this one means. It's a bit vague, but it seems like if you were to scrape up against a heavy tank, so let's say this one, you scrape up against it, you would take damage, but it would calculate the damage based on your bottom armor, like your floor, underneath the tank, the belly armor, rather than your actual side armor. So I'm guessing that you were taking a lot more damage than you should have from just scraping. So that's a bit weird. They have removed historical battles from this menu. As you can see, it's no longer here. They have misses for some series awards. Series awards are now properly counted. Misses? Not quite sure what that means. Speaking of misses, by the way, I'm just jumping from one side to the other here. There is a bug in the current test server that shots randomly will go through tanks. It's a really nasty bug. Doesn't seem to be any specific cause for it. Somebody said that it's shots over 300 meters. Well, that's bullshit. I've done shots over 300 meters, but yeah, shots are apparently going through tanks now in some cases. So if you have that on the test server now, you know it's a bug, and they're aware of it. Fixed decreased performance when displaying some vehicles in HD quality, always good. Improved performance of shadow rendering, the quality of rendering, okay. They've basically, when you have shadows on, the quality of the shadows should be better now. Well, I don't really see it being better, but they also should have slightly better performance. Well, that's always welcome. Optimization's always welcome. And it does seem like I have less lag on the test server, and my frame rate does seem to be a little bit more stable. So, yeah, it seems to be working, but it's hard to really compare the two. If I come up with some way to compare it, I'll take a look later. Increased performance of frame rendering on most configurations slightly, so they've done some tweaks here now, which is always good. Improved performance of some elements of the battle interface. Okay, that's again, that will benefit your frame rate a little bit. Option to turn on or off triple buffering has now been re-added to the menu. Let's take a quick look here. Graphics, as you can see, we have triple buffering, and you can only enable it when you turn on vertical sync. If you turn off vertical sync, it turns off. I don't think anything here has been changed. No, this is all pretty much the same. This is, by the way, what I run for settings right now, which seems to work pretty well. Yeah, I might change these things up a little bit, but this so far seems to be pretty good for me, so yeah. I'd like to have performance rather than quality, to be honest. I'd rather have the game be fluent and 40 plus FPS at all times rather than look really pretty but shitty performance. So that's why I have it tweaked like that, and it seems to work pretty well. It's a pretty decent balance. What else do we have? Fixed discrepancies between visual and damage models of some environmental objects. So if you were to shoot like this box here, then this one would get damaged, or you would shoot here but the actual damage model would be here. Yeah, that's not really important, but they should fix it, and they did. Fix the conditions for receiving the Ranger Award. Let's take a quick look at the awards. Do I have it in here? Ranger. I never remember where that one is. That's not it. I don't know, guys. It's in here somewhere. I'm probably just looking over it, but they've changed the effects of shells hitting surfaces. You now have a lot more sparks and things when you hit tanks, more dirt flying up when you hit the ground, all that sort of stuff. You already heard the new gun sounds. They have redid gun sounds and explosions and that sort of sounds, so it sounds a bit different there. You've added a bit more atmosphere, so you hear like shots in the distance sound like muffled, so you know, you'll hear that in the distance, and when they're closer by you'll hear it more profoundly, and that's pretty good. Not everybody's too happy with the sounds. I like them. They're better than what they were, I have to say. And it does add some atmosphere to the background. So, Some of the shots, some of the calibers rather, can use some work, I would have to say. It's mainly the high caliber guns that could use a little bit of work. It's like they're missing a little bit of base. 122mm sounds pretty close to 155, and 155 and 170 sound the same. So, yeah, it needs work. What else have they done? They fixed some stuff in Strongholds. I'm not going to go into that because I've never played Strongholds and I don't know jack shit about it, so I can't really say a whole lot about it. But they've changed some things, they fixed some things, and done that. They've expanded the list of crew member surnames. Yay, what I always wanted. Who gives a crap? I really don't give a crap about the names. I mean, I would have been just as happy if they didn't have names or pictures, because I really don't care. But, you know, some people do. Fix some issues with text chat functionality in 10 companies. Fix the display of icons of the 5th skill on the crew members. Well, I don't have a 5th skill. My highest is a 3-skilled crew. Where's the crew? Well, that's one of them. And the rest is in here. There we go. So, yeah, I only have 3 crew skills max, so I don't have a 5th one yet. That will be a while. So that's not going to be an issue for me. Fix disproportion between the size of the markers and the minimap when zooming in. Okay, good to know. And some bug fixes. Let's see. Fix issues with the server field resetting upon unsuccessful login attempt. So if you were to log in and you type your password wrong, the auto field would get reset. So that was a bit annoying, but yeah, they fixed that. Fix some issues with the playback of battle replays. Well, me as a YouTuber, I'm very happy with that because that's always good. Fixed hang-ups of the game clients that was stuck on updating crews when you were returning to the garage. I've heard some people having that issue, so that has been fixed now. That's good. Fix some hang-ups and crashes of the game clients. That's always good to fix. Fix some issues with platoon channel becoming blocked when creating a platoon. I think I've seen that once. That was annoying. It's good that they fixed that. Fix issues with the penalty for... Oh, right, yeah, I've seen this. When you exit a replay, it basically tells you, when you exit a replay and the game is still going on, you're still alive, it basically says you're about to leave the battle. You know, you're deserting your team. That's what it says, somehow to that extent. It's like, this is a replay. So I hope they fixed that. I've seen that once, like, wait, what? So it's good, they fixed that. They fixed some more freeze-ups in a tank company battle, and they fixed some issues with vehicles being launched into the air when crossing some environmental objects. Whew. Well, that was a way longer video than I was planning. Yeah, server-wise, they did a lot of fixes, a lot of tweaks, performance fixes, so it's going to be a nice little patch, but that's all that is, a nice little patch. Hopefully you still enjoyed the video, even though it was a lot of talking and not a lot of interesting new stuff, but hopefully the tanks were at least interesting. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.